Good morning, everyone. In last session, which topic we have seen VPC done, right? Okay, in today's topic, we will see RDS, SNS, and SQS. Okay, basically, these three are going to be very, very small topics actually. It won't take much time to cover. So, from tomorrow onwards, we'll start Terraform. So, by today, we'll cover the AWS topics. So, now in today's session, what exactly we are going to discuss means, I'm going to tell you how to launch an RDS instance. First of all, what do you know by the meaning of RDS actually? RDS. Have you ever heard about this one? Relational Database Service. RDS. What we can call it as? So we know about 3-tier architecture, correct or not, sir? In 3-tier architecture, web server means Apache, application server, Tomcat, database server, MySQL, or MS SQL, or MariaDB, Oracle server. We have a lot of database types or not. There are n number of databases which you can use. Database server means we need to install one database. That can be any kind of database. That can be MySQL or MS SQL, or Percona is one of the distribution we have, ArangoDB, MariaDB, Oracle server. These are n number of database distributions which we generally speak about. In today's session, what we are going to do means I'm going to tell you how to create a production level database in real time. Okay. And again, before I teach you, the only thing you need to focus is database is going to be very, very expensive. It is not going to be free of cost. For example, if you launch a database and if you forgot to terminate, you are going to get the bill in thousands. Okay. So while we are dealing with database, we need to make sure everything we know about the database. Otherwise, don't touch that one. So let's discuss about the RDS now. So RDS means the full form is nothing but Relational Database Service. So let me give a glimpse of it for the first 10 minutes. So later then we can create the database. Creating of database will take only 2 to 3 minutes, but the theory will take more than 10 minutes. Okay. Amazon RDS is a web service that make it easy to set up, operate, and scale relational database in AWS cloud. It provides the cost-efficient, resizable capacity for industry standards. For example, to store the data in real time, we use database. Correct or not, sir? So if you want to use the database, AWS is going to provide the database service, which is what we can call as Amazon RDS. Which one you can call it as? So this database, we can create the database, we can operate, we can scale, and we can scale out as well. Depends upon our requirement, we can create it. Advantages means it is pay as a go model. That means how much you use, that much only we need to pay. Security and patching. So for database, we use IAM authentication, or we can use Kerberos authentication as well. There are a lot of authentication methods. And automated backups. Our database, we never take backups. Automatically, database will create backup for itself. If you don't maintain the database backup, it is going to be very, very, very serious issue for you. Otherwise, data is going to be lost. Software update for database engine. You don't know what is the meaning of DB engine. I'll tell you later. If selected, multiple availability zones, synchronous replication between active and standard database instance. That means database, while I'm creating one database, I can create the cluster of database. You know what is the meaning of cluster, right? Group of servers. Here also I can create the group of database. That is what you can call as DB cluster. What we can call it as? Automated flavor if the multi-availability zone was selected. By default, every database has maximum maintenance window of how many days? 35 days. Sir, coming to the database here, as a user, when we are creating the database, we need to manage some settings. First of all, manage database settings. For example, if you know how to create the schema, how to give the name of the table, and how to give the authentication, and how to make the performance tuning for database. Here there are some set of settings we need to give for our database that we need to manage ourselves. I'll tell you how to make the settings for your database as per our requirement. Sir, coming to the database engine, that means database types actually, we can use MS SQL. MS SQL means Microsoft SQL Server. SQL means what? Structured query language. Next one, MS SQL and MySQL is there. Oracle, Amazon Aura, PostgreSQL, MariaDB. So these are the 6 commonly used database engines for our real-time production activities. Apart from that, we can use some other database as well, but these are the mostly used among the current database engines. Coming to the license here, sir, license we need to buy, sir. For every database, not only for every database, basically license we need to buy for every SQL certs as well. But when coming to the license operations here, you have 2 methods. First of all, boil. Boil means bring your own license. That means for database, we can get our custom license. Second thing is AWS will provide the license for database on hourly basis. You can choose any of them. Depends upon your requirement. Coming to the limitations, sir, RDS for a server, like for a account, maximum how many database we can create? 40 DB instances. When you are creating 40 servers, 10 of them must be Oracle or MySQL. For example, 40 is the limitation. How much is the limitation? If 40 is the limitation, 10 of these 40 I must create either Oracle or either I can create MySQL. When we use AWS license. But if you have your own license, 40 of these 40 servers you can create upon your requirement. Clear now? When AWS license, if you take out of 40, 10 must be Oracle or MySQL. But if you have your own license, no need to create that one, sir. 40 out of 40 you can create as per your requirement. But for a single client, we will create one database cluster only. For example, in real time, we have multiple accounts. For each and every client, we need to maintain separate account. If you ask me, for each and every account, we will create only one database cluster. That is maximum enough. Okay, why? Because the storage capacity is almost all. We can give up to 400 GB. 400 GB means it is very vast, right? Correct or not? That too you will store the data on key value pair only. Other like, for example, what we call images, audios, videos, we don't store like this kind of things there. Database means you need to store the maximum key value pairs. Like when it comes to the production level, of course, you can keep the images, videos, audios as well. But majority of the times, database we used to store the details of a user, actual customer. So which will be on key value format. Fine. Coming to the storage, sir. So database want to store our information. That means we need to have some storage capacity or not, sir? For storage capacity, here we are using AWS EBS blocks. You know what is the meaning of EBS, right? Elastic block storage. So you know already, all of we are using SSD now. In SSD, how many methods we have? Standard. I mean, like general purpose is the first one. Second thing is provision. For general purpose, you know, without any specific requirement, you can use general purpose. But provision means speed, input and output operations. So 99% of the cases, we will go for provision IOPS. Which one we need to choose? So for provision IOPS, what is the minimum database we need to take? Minimum storage, that is, you can't take less than 100. That is the minimum value, and maximum 65 GB. Of course, you can go up to terabytes as well, but which is not required here as of now. Coming to the templates are here, AWS will generally provide 3 types of templates. Production level template, non-production level, that means dev, test, QA environments, and third one is free tier. For our practice, we can create free tier account, free tier template. But in real time, definitely we need to use. Why? Because you want speed, redundant operation in production. In production, there must be no delay for each and every activity. So we choose to use the production template, which is the best suitable for the environment. Dev or testing we use for like non-prod accounts mostly. But in real time, database we use for production use cases. Rather than comparatively dev and testing environments, we choose to opt for the production environment. Okay, then fine here, like when we want to create the database, right? So RDS creation is pretty straightforward. No need to know like anything newly here. Whatever the options you are going to see there, just select the options. Directly you can create the cluster itself. But again, guys, I'm telling database cluster is going to cost too much of amount. I'll show you how to create cluster. But after creating the cluster, delete it immediately. If you forget, you're out. That's what I'm sure. Why? Because like for my couple of batches ago, I create one database cluster, that too with big instance type. What happened means I forgot to delete the database cluster and I got the billing of whooping amount 1.72 lakhs. How much I got? I'll tell you one craziest fact actually, you don't believe. In real time, we will do some POCs actually. POC means like for testing purpose actually. For a client, if we want to give a demo for trial and other purpose, we will take POCs. The amount of bill we get for POCs in our organization, I'm telling, 35 lakhs per month. That for POC only, if you go for production, 50 lakhs per month is very easy. How much? And you know, here the craziest fact actually, we are not using high availability. We are using single node only. How many nodes? Basically, we need to use multiple nodes in real-time environment, but that is POC, right? We can continue with single. POC means like I'll tell you, developing, testing, UAT production, but you don't know what is the meaning of POC. POC means, for example, I have a like application or I have a software. I want to show some demo to you. What you are going to do means you are going to pay some bill for me. Based upon your bill, I'll show a demo of my product for you. If you like the product, you will be my client. If you don't like, it's okay, fine. It's the end of the discussion there. That is what we can call as POC. What we can call it as? POC means trial and error method. If you like it, you will be my client. Otherwise, you will not be my client. So what is the amount of bill generally? That is the average cost, guys. Even like our company startup money, that means the last workout company of me, we get the billing of 35 lakhs. Imagine like 35 lakhs means for how many employees we can pay the monthly salaries are there? Almost all. 100, for easily like we can pay up to 60 to 70 employees, right? Correct or not? That is for POC. If you imagine for production, what is the cost there? 50 lakhs is the average. How much is the average there? And in these 50 lakhs, the highest amount is going to pay it for RDS only. Where we pay majority of the bill there? RDS only. For servers, of course, servers instance type are fine, but RDS is going to, it's like a camel actually. It will drink, it will keep drinking on. There is no limitation for it, okay? Like that. So, okay, sir, let's create the RDS here. So, if I type here RDS, go here. The moment if you see here, are you seeing create database here? Click on database. The database name here, I'm going for standard method. Guys, here, whatever the database I'm showing you, this database I'll create for my production purpose. Same thing I'm going to show you. So listen here carefully. Which method we are going to use means standard only. Which one? In our organization, we use Postgres. Some people will use MySQL. Some people will go for MariaDB. Some people will use Oracle. But for our organization, we select the Postgres. And here Postgres engine. So this is what you can call as like engine version. What is the latest version here? But always we will go for N-15.2 I select. That is the standard version. Actually, 15.3 is almost all N-1. If you see here, 15.4 is the like latest one. N-1 means 15. Template we choose for production level work. So I click on the production only. Coming to the availability and durabilities are single database instead. That means you will get only one single server like this. Multiple availability data instance. That means if you read here, create a primary instance and standby DB. That means it is my primary database. Apart from this, it is going to offer the secondary database as well. If this is not available, this will work for me. Clear now? That's it. Third one is multi-availability zone database cluster. That means here it is going to create one primary, two secondary databases. See the concept one. If you select the first option, right? The moment if you go and select first option, you will get only one single database. But if you select multiple availability means two. One is primary database, second one is secondary database. If primary is not available, we'll go and work for the secondary. Third one is multiple availabilities on database cluster. One primary database, which of your most workloads going to happen here, and two secondary databases. So for production level works, basically at that time, this option is not there. Few months ago, this option, like a few months, not few years ago, this option is not there. So we generally prefer multiple availabilities on database instance. So this is the preferable method to create. But due to the new option, so a lot of people are starting using about new option. So I selected the new option for you. Coming to the database identifier, I am going to create for my Netflix application. Which application? Credentials, sir. By default, username will be Postgres. Anywhere you go, the default username for Postgres is always. But if you want to give your custom username, go here and give the custom username as Raham. What I am giving? But here I'll put Postgres only. And if you want to take the credentials, you have three options actually. First one, you can take it from AWS Secret Manager, which is the preferable and encrypted method. Second one, you can click on auto generated, which is going to generate password as per your custom requirement. Third one, our own password. So in real time, we used to select the cipher passwords. You know about cipher? Cipher text. So whenever you want to give password for any what we call any type of instances, for example, if you speak like database is going to be very, very productive, right? So for the things which we kept very high availability as well as which we required mostly, we used to have the cipher text password. But of course, you can give the plain text as well. Here, as of now, I am kicking the auto generate. But in real time, you can give your manual password or you can use the cipher text password as well. Now, coming to the instance configuration here, sir, generally we have two options only. First one is general purpose. Second one is provisioned IOPS. So which one you are going to select here? Here, if you see, you are seeing only one provision. Why? Because here, which template we selected, guys? Template name. Can anyone tell me the template name here? Where it is, man? Multi-asset. But if you go for single, na, or using general purpose, if we are dealing with production, general purpose is not suitable for you. Why? Because production means we are going to use it efficiently or not, sir. For that purpose only, general purpose will hide when I select the single DB. So if I go for multi now, I'll have only one option, which is the provisioned IOPS. Which one? Sir, the minimum database size is for provision 100 GB. How much? For example, if you go and try and give here 99, how much I'm giving here? What is telling? You cannot give less than 100. 100 is the minimum you need to follow. So I'm giving 100 as of now, which is sufficient for me. IOPS means input output per second. So 3000 is enough for me as of now. Why? Because I don't have much load now. But if you have any load, you can create up to 50K, 70K, 80K also you can go maximum ratio. And coming to the storage auto scaling. Storage auto scaling means, for example, you create the database of 100 MB. 100 MB is almost occupying. I don't have any further space. It will scale automatically itself. Every time you go for database and if you check if there is space or not, it is going to waste some time, right? For that purpose, here if I click on auto scaling group enable, it is going to enable the auto scaling. Whenever my database is almost occupied with 100 GB, it is going to increase itself. Need not to increase anything manually, it will create automatically itself. Connectivity. Sir, connectivity here you have two options. First of all, you can create the database separately and you can attach for server, or directly if you have already one server, you can attach this server, database server to your working server. For example, do not connect to EC2 compute resource. That means here I can create database only, but it will not connect to my EC2 instance. Second one is connect to EC2 compute resource. The moment if you select this one, already if you have one server, this database is directly going to attach for that server. But when we are dealing with production level works now, so generally we will create database first and we will attach to server later. Of course, if you want to do like this, there is no any restriction. You can also follow up this. So directly here as of now, if you go and select, do you have any servers running? Click on create EC2 instance. Like here only you can create a server. I'm checking it as DB server. And take Amazon Linux 2. Instance type is normal, like I suggest to go with normal instance type only, T2 micro. But in real time, T2 micro we never use. So definitely we need to choose T2 large in least case. So all traffic, that's it. Like storage is up to, like I'll take off 100 GB. How much? But of course, like here 100 GB is not required. You can go with 8 GB as well. Why? Because it's practical partner. So we are not doing on production. So click on launch instance. Instance failed. The account, oh man, account is currently blocked. Damn. In WhatsApp then, account got blocked. So now I want anyone of AWS account, please. Come and type the credentials here. Sign out. You can. But that is not my account, right? No, they will reply you. Just they will ask you some docs actually. Okay, one second. Yes. Oh, AWS account sign was information does not exist. Like what? Should sorry. Oh, okay. Wait. I given the username. Basically, I give the will work now. Password. Password you can't see. Dots. Of course, if you know, you can type it here, Rakesh. You also forgot, eh? Not working. AWS customer support. Microsoft కదా. Oh, 1 second. Like I'll type here forgot password. You'll get one mail actually. Check it there. In email you can change the password now. Click on the link. Yeah, you can change the password from here directly. Alena, just give me a couple of minutes. Like here we are resetting the password for a student here. Give me a couple of minutes. Okay, then let me create the RDS one more time. So now you tell me the process, like where to select which option. No? So click on create database. So Postgres engine version 15.3 is the N-1 as of now. Template, production, and here availability, singular, multi. I'm talking about production level activities. Production level means almost multi. Database name, I'm gonna give it as Netflix. So username is going to be by default Postgres, and password I'm generating here auto password, and here standard I'm selecting. Or if you want memory optimizer, you can go for memory optimizer. I'm going with standard only. Guys, here if you go to DB M5DX large, how many CPUs you are getting? How much of RAM it is? That means how much is the hourly cost, you know? I'll show you at the end. They are going to give a catalog for it, like how much we are going to pay for our. They will show you. Wait. So like minimum, I'm gonna put 100 is the minimum, but of course it is 400 also fine. So let me modify it to 100 as of now. So I'm not connected to my server, but if you want to connect to your server, check on this. Create a new server here. So the name is DB server. Basically, here, you know how the data is going to store on database? Like the structure, like what exactly we can call it as. So 1 second. Let me create a new server. Anyone knows the architecture of database? Like how the database is going to store the data in real-time aspect? Don't know, huh? Fine, I'll teach you. Tables, correct. But apart from tables, you need to know some other thing as well. Rows and columns, yeah, fine. But ఇంకోటి ఒకటి తక్కువ అయింది కిరణ్. అది కాదు ఆన్సర్. Fine here. So I have one EC2 instance as of now, so which is ready for me. So click on this one. Now direct it is telling that some VPC settings can't be changed when compute is added. For example, here it is telling that adding an EC2 resource automatically select the VPC, DB, subnet, public, and everything for the database. For example, whatever the configuration you have give for your server, same configuration is going to apply for the VPC here. For example, for this server, I selected the region as which region it is. 1 second, like whatever it can be, like let me show you here. So Mumbai region, and what is availability zone? 1B. What is security group here? All. Whatever the properties I select for my server, same properties will be applicable for my database, not VPC. Okay. So here if you go and see here, what I'm gonna do is here I will not select all of them, sir. Choose existing, no. Like basically whatever I have, I select those only. So default is fine. It is security group for basically security group is also like it's optional for you as of now. But I am going with default now. Fine. Of course, even like remove this as of now. Sir, here if you go and see RDS EC2 database subgroup. Here have a selected or it is automatically created. Why? Because of my server properties. And database, if you know about VPC in last class, database is going to launch on public subnet or private subnet. For private, are we going to give public IP address? It is going to tell it public access no. Why? Because it's my data. I cannot expose to the outer world. That's it. And I said database authentication. You have password authentication, you have IAM user authentication, and you have Kerberos authentication as well. Okay. Database retention period maximum like it is going to be 7 days retention period, but if you want you can go up to months as well. But for free tier it is only for 7 days. But in real time aspect we will keep up to months actually. That too depends upon your requirement only. And come here. Yeah. If you see what is the monthly estimated cost, sir? 2,100. And if you calculate this on Indian rupees, what is the charge going to, you know? In India. Dollars. Let me put it as dollars. Wait. Dollars. US, where is USD? Okay, fine here. What is the cost, sir? 1,81,000. That means we can buy 2 iPhones. How many iPhones? Guys, actually this happened to me. Whatever the setup I shown you, right? This setup I forgot, like the setup I shown to my previous class. I shown them the concept, like how to attach and everything. At the end of the session, they asked me doubts. After solving the doubts, I forgot to delete I forgot to delete the database server. After that, the monthly bill came that like you got the billing of almost 2 lakh rupees. How many rupees? Then I got a mini heart attack at that time actually. After seeing that, what I left means I left the RDS instance directly. And even I have selected some big instance types. Guys, like 1,81,000 means too much of cost or not? Here, if I change the configuration, like let me show you in real time. Like I'll tell you like which configuration we have used here. Here we have used the configuration of this one. DB M6GD16 large. How much? And the storage almost all we use the minimum storage of 400. How much? It is the minimum, the list case we use it. Now if you go and check, what is the monthly cost? Again, I need to select, right? So it will be almost all, you will get 2,300 USD, I think so. It's almost all, it is going to be. But so that's the reason I won't ask you to create database. But if you want to create database, click on create database. I won't recommend you to create. If you want to create it, or otherwise it's up to your choice. This is the configuration. I have shown you the configuration. If you want to create, what you are going to do, click on. But I won't create. Why? Because it's not my account, it's Rakesh account. Why? Because if I show you, if I forgot to delete, he is going to pay the bill. Okay? No. Even though that's not my account, my student's account. It's like Rakesh. Fine. Is the concept clear, sir? How to create the database here? So that's it. In real time also, we'll create database like this. There is one more method as well. Apart from using RDS, we can install our own database for free of cost. That is going to tell, like I'm going to teach you one separate setup for you. That is a project. There I'll show you how to create our custom database, how to create tables. In the tables, how to insert the data also, like I'll show you. But from AWS point of view, it is the way how we are going to create the database. Clear now, sir? That's it. And guys, I'll ask you a question. Basically, this is the analysis actually. Try to answer this question. Sir, can we store data on S3 bucket? Can we store data on EBS volume? Can we store data on database? Now tell me the difference between all of these three. The critical point to understand. Basically, this question is asked by one of the interview to me. When I go for one interview, like he asked me this question. Can you store on data on S3? I said it, I'll store. Again, he asked, well, what about TBS volume? Of course, I can store data on EBS volume. Then what about RDS? Of course, we can store. Then I was shocked, like, why is asking multiple questions? Then later he asked me, compare those three. Okay. Okay. Exactly. That's the correct answer. Basically, here we need to understand one mechanism, sir. When I try to compare AWS S3 with EBS volume with RDS, see what are the main differences here you can observe. For example, this is the S3, this is the EBS, and like third one is going to be your RDS. For example, let's consider the bucket. Sir, in bucket, have I shown how to insert the data or not, sir? For example, let's consider you have some data that can be images, that can be file, or that can be any kind of data. We can put here images or not, sir? You can put here videos. You can put here data like .pdf, .docs, anything we can put. For example, if you want to store the data without server help, then you can use S3 bucket. In S3 bucket, do you need to use servers? Whenever we have the requirement to store the data without server requirement, then we need to use AWS S3. What we need to use? Clear now? Sir, when I want to store the data in the server, then I need to use the EBS volume. Which one? For example, let's consider the application code, sir. Sir, application code, if I put on S3, is it going to work for my server? Application code, that means front-end code, back-end code, images, videos, whatever requirement for my application, everything I need to keep on my app server only. Whenever you are deploying the code is going to store on a server only or not, sir? Server means inside the volume only. If you want to store the object without servers, you can use S3. If you want to store the data inside your server, for example, your application code, there you can use EBS volume. Correct or not, sir? Then why the RDS comes into the picture means application code you can store on app server, but for database server, you are going to store the customer data actually in real time. That will be in key value format. Of course, you can use JSON format as well. Anyone knows about JSON format? JavaScript object notation. So you can use the JavaScript object notation or you can use the YAML format as well. Okay, that is going to be on structured format. For example, customer name Raham, customer ID 123, customer location Hyderabad. It is going to store data all like that. So this is the difference you need to understand about the data storage in types. Without server, which one is preferable? With server, EBS. Again with server, but you want to store the data on structured format. RDS. Clear or not, sir? This is the comparison of all storage types. Okay, sir, fine. Like whenever we are speaking with RDS, now this point you need to know. In RDS, how your data is going to store, sir? I'll tell you the exact way. First of all, you will create one server. In that server, what we are going to do means we are going to install the database. What we are going to install? For example, let's consider it is my DB server. It is my DB server. Inside my database server, I'll install any database. That database can be any kind of thing. Let's take for our clarity, I'm taking SQL database. Which one? That can be anything. This I'll show you lively, but not now on a project I'll show you. Okay. Inside this database, first of all, you are going to create some tables. What I'm going to create? So this is the table. Inside this table, what you are going to have, you know? What you are going to have? Rows and columns. What you are going to have? Inside the rows and columns, you are going to have the data. For example, this row is serial number 1, 2, 3. This row is name Raham, Vinod, Vishnu, like that. But apart from this, sir, you need to understand. Lot of people will think it is the architecture. But before this one, we need to understand one thing. First of all, database server. Like I'll write it here. One more thing you need to understand is, first of all, we will create server. That is database server. Inside that server, we are going to install. So there you will create one database. There you will create one. Inside the database, you have something called as schemas. What you will have? Inside schemas, you will have inside tables, rows and columns. Inside rows and columns, you have the, this is the way how the data is going to store. Okay. Guys, remember, like if you don't understand the database structure, how it is going to store, you cannot able to use it. First of all, I'll create DB server, sir. What I'll create? Inside that database server, I'll install the database. Guys, here first one is installing. What it is? Second one is creating database. Installing database is different. Creating the database is different. Then you will have schemas. Inside schemas, you have table. Inside table. Inside rows and columns, write this point, all of you. Or you can take a snap of it. Why? Because a lot of people unable to answer this question in interview. Zoom in. Okay. Done all of you? And one more thing is, they will ask you one more question in interview, how you are going to retrieve data from database. For example, in my database, I have some data, sir. How you are going to retrieve the data from database means by running the queries. By running what? For example, in database called ABC, I have user information. Then queries select star from ABC, row is equal to like some X, like that. Or student ID is equal to 1. So like this, if you run some query, right, that query is going to fetch the exact data. For example, here lot of tables you are having or not, sir, like lot of rows and columns. If you want to extract the data from table, so you need to run the queries actually. Select star from and database name. Whatever you want, you can write it inside. Okay. So query is nothing but it's a way of fetching the data from database, right? This point. To fetch the data from database, we need to run the queries. What we need to run, sir? Query. Why need to run the query? To fetch the data from database. Fine. Okay now. So what is the meaning of query, sir? Huh? అర్థం కాలేదా? No, like what you are doing, I was saying. Okay. So like what is the meaning of query here? To fetch the data from database. So this is the database actually. I already said you, right? So I'll suggest you to learn some database, which is going to helpful for you. So just some basic queries also you need to know. Why? Because as a DevOps point of view, you are not going to work on server level. So sometimes you need to run the queries actually. Without knowing what is the meaning of database query, you don't know like where to run the query and how it is going to work. So it is recommended to learn. But no need to join on separate course. Go to some YouTube tutorials and try to learn yourself. Even you can learn from S3, like S3 not W3 schools you can learn, and Java T point is there. Like a lot of free platforms you can learn. So the next concept here we are going to discuss about SNS. What we are going to discuss about? Anyone tell me like what is the purpose of using SNS here? Like why we need to use SNS actually? SNS means simple notification service. So recently, anyone ordered any product from Big Billion Day sale? None of you. What like what you guys ordered? Like in general, shoes, huh? Monitor, same batch. Even I also like 3 pairs of shoes recently. So like when the price is dropped, so all of us are going to use the Flipkart or not, sir? Flipkart or like Amazon. Even recently Flipkart sale happened, right? Like the Puma shoes, which is having worth of 3,500, in the sale they gave for only 700. Have you seen that one? Athletic shoes, like we use mostly it for like sprinting and running purpose. So I have seen that one. So in these kind of situations, like what we are going to use is we are going to use the Flipkart or Amazon, like whatever it can be. Of course, as an Indian, when the fare is going to drop, like fair price we are having, definitely we'll go and buy or not, sir. Can be online or it can be offline. So when you buy the product, right, exactly what is going to happen, when the customer ordered a product on Flipkart, they are going to send some messages. And even when the delivery partner came to your house for delivery, then also you are going to get one message. Sir, like you, there are some millions of users who is going to order the products or not, sir? Some millions of users, literally. Even if you ask me, iPhone users almost all taken 4 lakh iPhones. Only iPhone I'm talking about. Then what about other phones? What about other products, electronic gadgets, clothes? We have a lot of things, right? So to send these messages for millions of users, basically, we can use the SNS. That is called a simple notification service. What we can use, sir? So if you go and type here, there you can see something called as SNS. So generally in real time, it's a messaging service where we can send messages for our multiple customers. Of course, you can use for AWS inbuilt purpose as well. If you click on create a topic, first of all, for example, go for SNS and go for dashboard here. By default, I don't have any SNS topic here. Click on topics, click on create the topic. Currently here, I am going to create one topic, like for example, it is Flipkart. What is the name of the topic? Name Flipkart topic is delivery. Product delivery. I'll put it as product delivery. So I'll create a topic here. For example, let's consider here there are 100 users ordering a product. How many users, sir? Whenever you ordered some product, already your email, your mobile number already registered in your application or not, sir? Then what we are going to do is we are going to provide the email for the SNS topic. So if you go and see here, click on create subscription protocol. I'm gonna create it. 1 second. No, not this one. Wait. Topics. Okay, basically, let me delete this one. Why? Because if you go and see what is the protocol you are selecting here, that is the only thing you are seeing, right? Here, like I'll tell you, go for topics, try to delete this topic. Why? Because there I have selected like one wrong option there. Click on standard here. Again, same Flipkart. So then topic name, product. Click on create topic. Now, if you go and see create subscription, sir, for protocol, are you seeing all of these protocols or not, sir? Previously, I selected the first in first out method. So there you can get only SQS topic. But here I need to select the email notification. For that purpose, basically we need to select standard there. But unfortunately, I selected the first in first out method. Now go and select here email format. So endpoint here I'm gonna give my email DevOps by Raham. It is my email by Raham at the rate of gmail.com. So now, for example, if my product is delivering today, they are going to send some message, right? Okay, but before that here, you need to go and say, sir, currently the status is which one? Now go for your email. Already I have my DevOps by Gmail account logged in here. By default, sometimes it will go for spam folder. If you go for spam, right? Like spam. In spam, are you seeing these notifications, sir? First of all, we need to click on confirm subscription. There also, whenever you are logged into the application, they are going to send one notification. Are we able to receive the messages or not? Definitely for every application, it is mandatory, right? If you give allow permissions, they will send you messages. Otherwise, we can't. So here I clicked on the confirm subscription here. The moment if you go and if you keep refreshing this one, current status is now here go and click on publish messenger. For example, like shoes on your steps. So here I am telling, hi dear customer, we are happy to Okay, so they are going to send these kind of messages, right? The moment if I go and click on publish message now, automatically I'll get the message. If you go and see here, go back now, go back to your inbox. Are you seeing the product delivery? So here if you go, the name is shoes on your steps. Hi dear customer, we are happy to deliver your shoes which you ordered recently. Thanks for your order. Like I'm going to get the email or not, sir? So whenever you ordered any kind of product, not only like products, even food, Swiggy, Zomato, Dunzo, and even like a Rapido, Ola. So all these you are going to get some event messages, right? So that is going to completely managed by the SNS only. Which one? SNS is going to send some millions of messages at a single time. So it has the capability. That is the application number one actually with the help of SNS. And second thing is SNS we can also use for our AWS services. For example, if you go and check now, currently my server is on shutdown state. Which state? If I start the server, SNS will send one notification for me. So user, your server in production started. Whenever I stop the server, even it can trigger the message. Or whenever if I reboot the server, I can also get the message triggering. That means SNS can be used on two methods. First one is out of AWS service, like sending messages like this. Second thing is we are already having some AWS services. That services we can embed with our SNS. For example, let's take AWS EC2 instance. If it is stopped or it is started, we can trigger the message. Okay. For example, if a storage is like limited storage, but it is breaching the level of threshold, it can trigger you an email. You are running out of the storage. For example, if your AWS bill is almost all 1 lakh rupees, it is going to trigger an event actually. Okay. These are the most frequently used applications for our SNS. Again, SNS full form is why we use SNS? Two purposes. Out of AWS, sending bulk messages. Second one, inbuilt AWS services. If the server is stopped, started, rebooted, or like event triggering, all this we can use for our SNS manager things. For example, sir, I don't want to receive messages from the Flipkart now. I don't want it. What you can do is you can go and unsubscribe. If you go and see, right? So here, select this one. Are you seeing delete this one? I can delete it, or you can go here and you can click on unsubscribe. The moment if you go on unsubscribe, right? If you click on refresh this page, now you cannot send message. Why? Because this is on. Wait, it is not replicated. If you wait for some time now, ID is currently. That means we cannot send messages now. Okay, again, if you want to send message, you need to subscribe it, or otherwise you cannot able to get the message from the Flipkart application. So like this, and if you go for pricing here, SNS is going to offer the pricing in the basis of messages. SNS pricing. Go here, and if you check for the official website, right? So here you can see, sir. For example, I want to get the billing for my US. Okay. If you go and see, I'll tell you. For US, for example, if you are on US, how much of bill you need to pay? For how much period? For example, if you are in India, what is the cost here? $150. That means for how many weeks? So you can see the pricing here. Like, of course, pricing is going to vary per region to region as well as customer to customer as well. For example, like if you take the premium account means like almost an enterprise version, you will have some discount as well there. Okay. So like what is the thing means here? The only one thing you need to understand is the message, whatever we are sending is very, very negligible amount. It is almost all $0.0002. If you want me to show here, you can see, wait, are you seeing this, sir? 0.002. That means very, very less amount or not, so they are charging. So like this is the way how your SNS is going to work. And there is one more thing called SQS. SQS is nothing but message broker service for SNS. Okay. Whatever the topics you want to send on SNS, right? It is going to trigger this topic on the queue based. For example, I have 10 messages to send. It is going to send one by one messages for the receiver. It is not going to send all the messages. SQS is going to arrange the structured format how message should be sent and how message should be reached to one of the subscriber. So if you go and see now, first of all, let me delete this SNS topic, or like keep it like this. Like I'll go for SNS SQS here. SQS means simple queue system actually. SQS managed messages queues. That means how many messages. For example, if I have 100 messages, right, it is going to send each and every message on a queue format. Click on create queue. Again, we need to select here. My queue name is Flipkart queue. And one more thing, don't give the spaces here. Sir, here message visibility time. That means how many seconds your message can able to visible. It should be 0 to 12 in seconds, but we need to keep it as minutes and hours actually. So I'm kicking this like some so and so minutes, or like let's take it as 1 hour. Delivery delay. I don't want to delay my message anymore, so I'm keeping it as 0. Receive message waiting time. It is also 0. Message retention period means like in how many days your message should be retained, and what is the maximum size of your message here. That means your message should not exceed 256 kilobytes. So server side encryption. Of course, if you want to click enable, click on enable. That's it. Now don't do anything here. Click on create queue. So the moment if you click on create queue, right? So if you go and check, are you seeing the URL here? So click on send and receive messages. Here I am sending it as hi all. Welcome to Flipkart Mega Sale. Delivery delay means like how many seconds it has there, sir? Click on send message. Now your message has been sent, is ready to be received. Currently, are you seeing the polling settings here? How many messages I send? What is the polling duration here? The moment if I click for poll messages, I'm going to get the message. Here I put the 10 seconds delay. How many delay? I think it's 30 seconds, not 10 seconds. So this message is going to deliver slowly up to 30 seconds. Why? Because if I have bulk messages to send, for each and every message, I need to give some time gap or not, sir? For that purpose, here I put the estimated like delay of 30 seconds. That too intentionally. If you want to edit, like let me complete this one. And what is the bytes here? How much byte I received here? 36 bytes for single message. Click on edit poll settings. If I put 3 seconds here, the message I'm gonna get in within here. Thanks for shopping. So now go and click on send message. Now your message is sent. Now click on poll for message. You are going to get message within 3 seconds. Done or not, sir? How many messages you received here? So like this, you can send the messages on the queue systems. Which system? So that's it about SNS SQS. Of course, in interview, they won't ask you about SNS SQS majorly. Okay, this is very small topic. In today's session, like major focus you need to keep on RDS only, but that to create the configuration and just practice. But don't forget to delete the server. If you delete the server, if you don't delete the server, you know how much billing is going to come. If any rich kid is there, you can practice RDS completely. Any rich kid? Oh, no? Fine. Of course, Pawan is rich kid, I know. Rich in knowledge. But enna acting talaiva. Fine. So now, and recently also, like I'm following LinkedIn, right? I'm seeing only Pawan's post. What about remaining? Jayant, you stopped posting the content. I think, have you started first of all? You haven't started, right? Fine. So this is end of the boring AWS topics, which I hate to teach. But at the end of the day, I need to complete AWS as I promised. So from tomorrow onwards, we are going to start Terraform, which is my favorite tool to teach. Like Terraform, you will start loving once I teach Terraform. Why? Because guys, whatever the stuff here we have learned till now is manual methods only. Whatever I have taught you here, entire thing I'm going to automate within the single command with the help of Terraform. And even Terraform is the mostly on-demand tool right now, if you ask me. Lot of institutes will won't teach Terraform even. But here, what are the Terraform stuff I'm giving? You can create the production level infrastructure within one single click. We seen KOps, right? That's for cluster actually, but this I'm gonna teach you for monolithic project. If you write some configuration, the moment if you click on Terraform apply, it is going to create entire infrastructure within 5 minutes, like KOps. Clear now? So that's it for today's session. Now, any doubts or any queries on today's session? Let's tell me one thing. We have seen the DevOps phase and we have seen the AWS phase. Which one is most boring? That's the reason I hate to teach AWS. But again, we can't do anything. Why? Because AWS is 70% of theoretical stuff only. If you see Elastic Load Balancer, I explained 1 hour. But practically 2 minutes we have done or not, sir. Only 2 minutes is taken, right? EBS also, theory 45 minutes. Practical 10 minutes only we have done. Even S3 buckets. AWS is mostly occupied with the theoretical part only rather than practical part. But DevOps is not like that. 20 to 25% theory. 75% is completely practical. So, but anyways, we completed the phase of DevOps AWS now. So from tomorrow onwards, I'll teach Terraform. After Terraform, like have I taught you SonarQube? SonarQube done, right? JFrog? Okay, JFrog is pending. Terraform is pending. These 2 tools only, right? Fine. JFrog done, na? Prometheus Grafana is different. That's monitoring tool actually. Okay, so tomorrow I'll start teaching Terraform. So then followed by I'll teach you JFrog and then final 2 projects we have. Till now, how many projects we have done? 1 na? Man. Jenkins, Ansible, Docker, 3 projects we have done. Project number 4 is infrastructure Terraform. Project number 5 is manual creation of AWS instance and software installation. That's it. So then we can finish the course within. Basically, I plan to finish before Dasara, but I'm not sure when the holidays is going to happen. But if there is any chance, I'll try to cover before Dasara, and after Dasara, I'll try to give holidays for you. That will be anyways holidays, right? Okay, fine. Let's see. We'll go slowly only. Nagios also pending. Guys, I taught you Terraform. See, not Terraform. Prometheus Grafana, right? Forgot about Nagios. Why? Because in place only, like in the place of Nagios only, I taught you Prometheus Grafana, if you remember. But again, if you want the Nagios document, right, I'll provide the Nagios document. If you want to practice, you can practice. But I'll recommend to go with Prometheus. Why? Because it is most advanced tool when compared with Nagios. Summer, we don't have AWS Lambda on our course, Samarth. Fine. Okay, then any doubts or any queries from your end before I wrap?